and you wonder why. And you wonder why you're going through what you're going through. What's up, family? What's happening? It's 6:30 Thursday. It's time to get a little sharper. Welcome to the Anti-Negativity Network. It's another Thursday, and we're thankful to be here. And you see who's right here with me. No split screen this week. So I could see her this week. I couldn't see her last week. I don't know what happened with Facebook. But anyway, hey, y'all saw her. I saw her later on. But hey, we're here. I'm excited. It's another Thursday. So hope you're doing well. Baby, you got anything you want to say?
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
So we back here again. Hey, Mama Jane. Hope you're doing well. Back here to encourage you this week. And I'm hoping something that is said tonight will encourage you. Will just get you to keep pushing, keep striving, keep going forward. Don't quit. Please don't quit. It is not an option. Do not quit. You just don't realize how close you are to where you're supposed to be going. Don't quit. Don't quit, okay? Please don't quit. But look, let's do this. As we always do, before we get started. On the count of three, let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. All right. So here we go. So first thing I want to do before we get into Genesis and get back into Genesis chapter 37. A couple weeks ago, I asked you to read Ephesians 5, 15 through 16. And so hopefully you've been reading that. I've been asking you to read that every day for the rest of the month. So hopefully you've been reading that. And I'm really hoping and praying that those two scriptures will really, resonate with you, will talk to you, speak to you, right? And encourage you to keep going. I mean, this is some tough days that we're living in, absolutely. But it's not tough enough to kill us. It's not tough enough that God can't see us through, okay? He is more powerful than anything that ever happens, okay? Matter of fact, he can make it not happen, okay? He has the final say on everything, okay? So don't forget that, all right? But I do want to ask you to do this. On this last week of reading Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16, I want you to add verse 17 to it. And because verse 17 talks about really just the will of God and finding what is the will of God for you, okay? That's the best place to be. It's the perfect place to be, is to be in his will. So make sure that we're seeking him every day to find out what his will is for our life, because it's going to make a big difference in your peace. It's going to make a big difference in your joy. It's going to make a big difference in the direction of your life and the things that you achieve and the things that you are set out to do. Okay? So we got to seek him first, right? That's scripture. Seek him first. And so we seek him first. He will direct your path and seek his righteousness as well. Okay? So, all right, look. Baby, you got anything?
Oh, no.
Okay, so we're going to keep it moving. We moving into Genesis chapter 37. And but I just wanted to add that in there real quick because, again, I've been reading it and it's blessing me. And I'm praying that it'll be a blessing to you as well. God's word is a blessing. It's a blessing to us. It's an opportunity for us to take his word, read it, learn from it, and grow from it, and continue to move forward, okay? And so we find out what his will is for us. Man, I promise you, it's going to be good. It's going to be some good stuff. Now, it's not saying that trouble won't happen. Not saying that it's going to be all roses. That's not life, okay? But the safest place to be is in the will of God. So you want to know what his will is for your life, seek him. I promise you, he'll let you know what it is, all right? So, but let's get to Genesis chapter 37. Speaking about will, speaking about his will for your life. Let's talk about Joseph some more here. Now, I started talking about Joseph last week, and I told you, shh, you just might be talking too much, okay? And so I'm going to tell you again, shh, you just might be talking too much, because you just might be talking too much and talking to the wrong folk. Because Joseph had this dream. Matter of fact, he had two of them. He had two dreams. And he told his brothers. And the second time around, he told his brothers and his father and his mother. No, just his father. I'm sorry, I didn't tell his brother. But please understand, Joseph telling his dreams to his brothers didn't mean that they was going to be happy about it. Didn't mean that they was going to like him even more, because they didn't. They didn't like him from the very beginning, simply because they knew that that Jacob loved Joseph more than all the others. Okay, because remember, Joseph was the son of Rachel, which was his first love, and because the dynamics that happened between Jacob and Rachel. Okay, Rachel, his mom, Joseph's mom. Now that just kind of went on down the line with Joseph, right? Because that's his woman's, his favorite woman, his first love woman, son, right? And so now it says Joseph was loved more by Isaac than the others, right? And so, I'm sorry, not Isaac, Jacob. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Isaac, but Jacob. And so you already got this family dynamic going on right here that's not good, right? And so then when Joseph shares dreams, he digs the hole even deeper, okay? And so now we move on to the second half of chapter 37, and I want to get here. Did you have something?
I just wanted to describe Joseph just a little bit more, because, he is a very central figure in the Bible. And so he was only 17 years old.
Yeah, so he was young. So it wasn't like he knew a lot.
Yeah, he was only 17, and he was a herdsman. That's what they did. All his brothers, so he was a herdsman as well. And what else? His brothers hated him. And also in his dreams, he foretold his future. So, you know, he was, kind of prophesying to them, the plan that God would have for him for his future. And they hated that as well. And let's see what else. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to, put this in perspective, here once we move to the next area, when we see them betraying him and throwing him in the pit. They're throwing a 17-year-old boy in the pit.
Yeah, and but again, you have to also understand. Again, we had to share all those dynamics because it's important to know. Yeah, just think about you and the decisions that you made and the things you said when you were 17 years old. You ain't know nothing. So we made some maybe not so good decisions at the age of 17. Probably still making some of those now. But hey, the bottom line is he was young, okay? And he made a decision to tell
the truth.
It might have been the truth, but there's nothing in there that said that God told him to tell them, okay? And unfortunately, because he told them, it sparked even more hatred. It sparked even more division in the family, okay? And so now, Jacob sends Joseph to go see about his brothers, because the brothers were out there working, taking care of the herds and taking care of all of the animals. Okay, I can forget, but anyway, take care of the animals, right? And so, Jacob sends Jacob sends Joseph out to find the brothers and see what's going on, make sure they're okay. Well, they see him coming. They see Joseph coming, and they already don't like him, right? We done made that point clear now. So you see Joseph, they see Joseph coming, and they plotting to kill him. They plotting to kill their brother. They plotting to kill him because, how dare you tell us this dream? And they took it as him being really arrogant. They took it as you being arrogant, like you better than us. We already know that Jacob don't really care for us as much as he cared for you. So we already got that division going on. So then you're gonna talk about us submitting to you and bowing down to you in a servant manner. And so this is from a brother, not somebody that they just met or somebody's other cousin or somebody that's voted in. We talking about we live in the same house, right? We part of the same family, and you can tell me I'm supposed to bow down to you? They didn't take that too well. Right? Come on.
Yeah, we'll find out later that Joseph really was, humble and a servant.
Yes.
And they didn't see him that way. They saw him as arrogant and a smart alley or whatever. But he was very wise.
Yes.
But again, they couldn't see that because they were blinded by their own jealousy. Mm-hmm. And
it does say that they were jealous of him. They did. It does say in the scripture they was jealous. But let's keep going down here, because again, now they see him coming, and now they plotting. They plotting to kill him. Okay, they plotting to kill him. And so then the oldest son, Jacob's oldest son, Reuben, speaks up and says, "Hey, fellas, hold on, bro. Let's not kill him. Let's not kill him. How about we just go ahead and throw him in a pit, okay? And then let's just throw him in the pit right now, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. But let's not kill him, okay? Let's not kill him." But really, what was happening? Reuben was plotting. He did this for personal reasons as well, okay? Because Reuben was not in good standing with his father because of what he did with one of Jacob's wives. Yeah, wives. Okay, and so that was a problem right there. So Reuben wants to use this as a way to try to get back in good standing, and so they said, okay, all right, we're going to throw him in the pit, but we're not going to kill him initially. Because now Reuben stepped away and did something. I don't know what happened with Reuben. But the brothers started talking some more. And they still got in their mind of getting rid of him, knocking him off. But then Judah steps in. And Judah says, hold on, bro. Let's not kill him, because what are we going to gain from killing our brother? Okay? And it's interesting that he says about killing him because he is one of us. He is our brother. So something kicked in all of a sudden that pulled at his heartstrings somewhat. They say, no, we don't want to kill him because that's going to be murder on our hands. So why would we want to do that? No, let's not do that. How about we just go ahead and we're going to sell him? Let's just go ahead and sell him and make some money off of him. Okay? And so that's exactly what they did, because it talks about how they sat down to eat, and then they looked up and they see the Ishmaelites and the Midianites coming. Now, they were coming because they were going to Egypt. And one of the things that they did was they did a lot of selling spices and perfumes and stuff like that. So they did a lot of trade, right? And so they saw them coming, so they was like, well, let's go ahead and sell him to them. Let's go ahead and get rid of Joseph this way. Okay, so we don't have to deal with him no more. Okay, and so that's exactly what they did. The Midianites came out and they sold him to him for 20 shekels. Okay, I don't know how much money that is, but it's not a lot.
Silver
shekels.
It's almost like silver dollars.
Yeah, but that's not a lot of money. Okay, how much money is your life worth? Right? How much money is your life worth? Okay, they said that his life was only worth 20 shekels. Okay, not a lot of money. So, but here's where I want to get. I'm sorry, babe. Do you have anything?
No, go ahead.
Good. Because see, what I want you to get out of this for tonight, I know it's feel like I'm trying to, a little slow getting there, but I need you to understand this. That even despite them doing what they did, plotting, God still was in the midst of all of that. Because from the beginning, they wanted to kill him. So then God speaks to Reuben, okay, and makes Reuben look at this thing a little bit different, using his own ulterior motive to want to save Joseph. But he uses Reuben to keep the brothers from killing him. So then God uses Judah to say, hold on. No, we're not going to kill him at all. We're going to just go ahead and sell him off. Okay? And I promise y'all stick with this. We stick with the rest of this chapter, the rest of Genesis. You're going to find out how all this plans out, how all this unfolds. Okay? There's a whole lot more to this. Okay? But we just setting you up right now. But I just need you to understand. You wondering why you dealing with the stuff you dealing with. You wonder. Now, some of it is because you probably done said a little too much to the wrong folk. I got to go back to that. Joseph, yes, he was young, but he said some stuff to his brothers that he probably didn't need to tell them. Just because you had the dream don't mean you had to tell it. Okay? It's going to happen. But when God makes a promise about something going to happen, I don't care what they do or what they try to do, it ain't going to work. But that don't mean that your path won't get redirected. Okay? Didn't say the path wouldn't be tough. Didn't say that you wouldn't have to go through some pain. Didn't say that you wouldn't have to go through some discouragement. Didn't say you didn't have to go through being lied on, losing your job, losing your car, your health being not at its best. Okay, your money is man, the elastic done popped on trying to stretch that dollar, right? You're doing all that you can and you're still coming up short. And you're frustrated, you're irritated. You don't understand why they're lying on you, why they're doing what they're doing, why they're not giving you the opportunity. They're giving it to somebody else and don't give it to you. All of those things may be happening. But you got to understand that, and this is the reason why I want to go back to the Ephesians one real quick, about you seeking God's will for your life. Because even though it might be tough, even though it's not going to always be easy, you're going to have to deal with some stuff that you don't understand why you got to deal with it. But God has you right where he wants you, and he is directing you and is going to take care of you. He got you. You just got to know and believe that. At the end of the day, Joseph is going to make a huge difference. And even though they trying to kill him, they can't do it. They can't. It won't work. It didn't work. And even though he got sold for 20 shekels, he was still being set up to be such a huge blessing, and even a blessing to his brothers. I'm giving you a little sneak preview. Even a blessing to his brothers that sold him. Come on, baby.
Yeah, and it's all because of the promise that God had made to Abraham. And Joseph is a direct descendant of Abraham, and God is still in the plan. He's still, if he makes a promise, it's going to come to pass.
Yep.
And so Joseph was just part of that promise, and we see that happening.
And one other thing too, which is also kind of interesting that we talked about a little bit, is who he got sold to. So they sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites. Now, understand, Ishmael, okay, is the great uncle of Jacob. Okay? So they sold him into family. They sold him into family, okay? Because Ishmael was the son of Abraham. Remember Abraham and Sarah, and then it was Hagar? That's a long time ago we talked about that. But nevertheless, Hagar was one of Abraham's wives that he had a baby by, and that was Ishmael. Ishmael, being a descendant of Abraham, also was a father of nations as well, of a nation, and it was the Ishmaelites. And they sold him to the Ishmaelites. Now, go figure that, right? But understand, God has it all under control.
Yeah. God, Joseph's brothers, thought that he was weak. Mm-hmm. But we know that God's word says God choose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Yeah. And we will see that later on as well.
Keep sticking with us. We're gonna keep going through Genesis. I'm excited about Genesis. Genesis is just, man, I done learned a whole lot, and hopefully you'll learn some too. But I just want to encourage you to don't quit, okay? Because I know you're going through it. I know it's tough right now. I know it's irritating, it's frustrating. I know you're ready to cuss folk out. I know you're ready to put the 5-4 ministry on folk. I know you're trying to, all that is going on right now. Let's just be real, okay? Because they trying your patience. They trying you. They testing you. They doing this. They doing that. They lying. They doing all kinds of stuff to try to get you to fold. They trying to do all kinds of stuff to get you to just flip out. They want you to spaz out. They want you to just lose it. They want you to. They want you. So that's why you cannot let it go. That's why you cannot quit. Because if you do that, they win. Then they can say, oh, I told you. Didn't I tell you? Now I tell you, I knew. No, they don't know. They don't know the God that you serve that already has made a promise to you that he said, I would never leave you, I'll never forsake you. He said he got you. And so you got to hold on to that. Don't let it go. Okay? The promise has already been made. There is a promise on your life. There's something that he has for you to do, and it's going to happen. Okay? But just make sure you don't put your mouth on and tell it the wrong folk. Okay? Go ahead, keep your mouth closed. He'll tell you who to tell, when to tell it, and how to tell it. But in the meantime, you keep seeking him. Find out what his will is for your life. And I promise you, he is going to come through. And all those folk that try to take care of you, they try to do, not take care, they try to do something to you. They try to take you out. They try to make you quit. They try to do you wrong. He got all of that. Don't think he forgot that. He going to take care of all of that. And next thing you know, they're going to end up having to do to you what the brothers had to do to Joseph. So you just hang in there. Keep pushing. Don't quit. It's not an option. Got anything there?
Nope. God has a big plan for you.
That's it. That's all. Hopefully you got some encouragement out of this. I know I am. Quitting is not an option. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep striving because he has the final say. And the final say is we win in the end. We out of here. Pray, plan, prepare, proceed. Go make it do what it do. We're going to see you next week at 6:30. Love you.
Love you.